organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, how much do you think President Sally Mason made last year? Think about it and we'll tell you later.
And furry friends for finals week. See what some UI students are doing to de-stress before their tests.
And in sports, our year-end awards continue. Who will be Freshman of the Year?
All that and much more is coming your way next.
Stay tuned because your Tuesday edition of Daily Iowan TV starts right now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for tuning in and welcome to your Tuesday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Christina Targos.
And I'm Nicole Meehan. UI President Sally Mason earned the 38th highest salary of all public university presidents in 2012. The Chronicle of Higher Education released its annual rankings on Tuesday. Daily Iowan TV caught up with some UI students to see if they could guess Mason's salary. Turns out, not many seem to know.
A lot of money. More than my tuition costs.
Mason's base salary sits at $483,600, but deferred compensation payment and retirement benefits bumped the whole salary to $633,350. Iowa Regent Bob Downer argues that President Mason is getting what she deserves. He told Daily Iowan TV, quote, "This is truly a 24/7, 365-day position. I do not believe that she is paid too much." Downer said to think of President Mason as the CEO of one of the largest businesses in the state of Iowa. He believes such a position warrants the high salary.
We all know that finals week can be quite stressful and some students are looking to relax. That's why the student organization UI Pause was on campus to help. The group brought therapy dogs for students just in time for finals. These animals are registered therapy dogs that provide comfort, affection, and entertainment to help students relax and take a break from studying. UI Pause, whose mission is to promote animal welfare in society, teamed up with the therapy dogs in Johnson County and Corridor Therapy Dogs of Cedar Rapids to bring these fuzzy friends to students.
A lot of students get stressed out during finals, and it's proven that therapy dogs can help out with that. And actually, we had an event last year where we all got to go experience the therapy dogs first, so we learned that it was something we liked, and so we wanted to bring it to the rest of the students at the university.
These dogs were at Hubbard Park on Monday, May 6th and Monday, May 13th. The dogs are expected to come back again for finals in December 2013.
Some UI students left the classroom Tuesday and made their way to City Hall. Students from an advanced real estate class spent all semester studying the commercial market needs of Towncrest, one of Iowa City's long-struggling neighborhoods. They presented these ideas to the city on Tuesday. You can read more about the students' ideas tomorrow in the Daily Iowan.
Students in Iowa will soon benefit from a $1.2 million federal grant. The state will dedicate the money to a project related to science, technology, engineering, and math education. A press release from Governor Terry Branstad on Tuesday announced that the funding will come from the National Science Foundation. The money will be provided over 3 years and will help develop a statewide system for evaluating STEM education in Iowa. And still coming your way on Daily Iowan TV, an era is ending for one Daily Iowan employee. Stick around to hear more.
And in sports, one member of the Hawkeye Hoops program is leaving the team. We break down the news in a bit. But first, let's toss it over to Daily Iowan TV's Sri Ponada, who is standing by with your local weather forecast. Sri?
Thanks, Nicole. Well, guys, if you can stand a little heat, I have a pretty great forecast for you on the way, with plenty of sunshine, lots of warmth, and very little, if any, rain this final week of school. Today, we had some really high temperatures in the 90s, probably the highest we've had all year. Students were out and about on the Pentecost soaking in some sun between preparing for finals. Tomorrow morning, we'll start off with a high of 63 and a 10% chance of rain. Temperatures will rise to the low 80s in the afternoon and come back down a bit to 79 degrees in the evening with a 20% chance of thunderstorms. Let me step aside here as we look into the 6-day forecast. Thursday will be pretty warm as well with a high of 82 degrees and a 20% chance of thunderstorms. Temperatures drop to 79 on Friday with a 50% chance of thunderstorms and continue into Saturday when we'll have partly cloudy skies. But don't worry because the low this weekend won't go below 60 degrees. Sunday the temps go back into the low 80s and continue to rise on Monday as many of us head home for the summer. It's certainly shorts and t-shirt weather this week as summer starts rolling in. Back to you at the desk.
We here at the Daily Iowan are saying goodbye to a longtime employee of the staff. Caroline Dieterle, who has worked at the Daily Iowan's archivist for 35 years, is retiring. Dieterle works in the newsroom, cutting out and organizing each Daily Iowan newspaper. She cuts out the articles for both the writers and reporters to keep on file. Every issue of the Daily Iowan since the 80s has gone into the big book that you are seeing here. One thing she liked best about her job was watching writers and photographers go on to bigger media productions after their time at the Daily Iowan.
You know, people came to the university and got journalism degrees, but people who came to the university and then got jobs in journalism worked at the DI, whether they got a major in journalism or not.
Unfortunately, due to the new era of digital files, her job is no longer needed.
Graduation for most students might not be until this weekend, but Tuesday night some at the UI celebrated a little early. The UI hosted a special ceremony honoring the achievements of their graduating LGBTQ students at the Old Capitol. The graduation has been a tradition at the University of Iowa for nearly a decade. We will have more on the ceremony tomorrow on your Wednesday edition of Daily Iowan TV.
Many Iowans are making the decision to own guns, but not all Iowa City residents are supportive. Here is a sneak peek at some of the pictures that will run in Wednesday's issue of the Daily Iowan. Be sure to pick up a copy to see a snapshot of 5 gun owners in Iowa City. Each has differing political views and each owns guns for different reasons. The common similarity between them is their love for guns.
And now let's take a look at what is happening outside of Iowa City. Islamic extremists now control some of Nigeria's villages and towns. The Nigerian president declared a state of emergency Tuesday across the country's troubled northeast. The president also said any building suspected to house Islamic extremists would be taken over in what he described as the war now facing Africa's most populated nation. Since 2010, more Islamic insurgents have killed more than 1,600 people.
A U.S. diplomat was ordered to leave Russia Tuesday after Kremlin security services accused him of being a U.S. spy. Secretary officials say they caught the man, who claims to be a secretary at the U.S. Embassy, trying to recruit a Russian agent. The man was carrying special technical equipment, disguises, and a large sum of money when he was detained.
American, Iranian, and Russian wrestlers hope their unity will help keep their cherished sports in the Olympics in 2020. The 3 nations will compete in an exhibition in Manhattan's Grand Central Terminal on Wednesday, in hopes of proving the sport's universality. The International Olympic Committee has recommended that wrestling be dropped from the Olympic Games beginning in 2020. The topic has also created controversy locally, as many Iowa wrestling coaches and fans have voiced their opinions against the dismissal of the sport. And now for a look at sports, let's toss it over to Chelsea Brown.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio. A whole lot of hardwood on the schedule this Tuesday edition of the program, including one Hawk leaving the nest, while another takes home the Daily Iowan Freshman of the Year honors. For years, the missing ingredient to success on the Carver Hawkeye Arena floor has been the lack of a go-to point guard. Jeff Peterson, Jake Kelly, John Licklider, and Bryce Cartwright, all names Hawkeye Hoops fans are more than familiar with, have all carried the torch, but none have impressed quite like Fran McCaffrey's 2012-2013 freshman class. The star of that class, Mike Giselle, whose debut season on campus has Iowa City buzzing and already looking forward to next year. Our own Annie Costable looks back at the season that was for this one Black and Gold's number 10 and our Daily Iowan Freshman of the Year.
Hailing from Sioux City, Iowa at 6'1", the starting Hawkeye point guard and our Athlete of the Year, Mike Giselle. It's been quite a year for this young athlete, and he's sure made his mark on this Hawkeye program. Gasell's appearance in 34 games helped the Hawks to the NIT championship game and put this program back on the map amongst top Big Ten competitors. Gasell was the third leading scorer, averaging 8.7 points per game for this Hawkeye squad, led the team in steals and assists on 8 different occasions, and ranked third on the team in three-pointers made, raking up 33. After just one season with the Hawks, it's no surprise why fans are eager to see this young star back on the court. Annie Costable, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Gasell wasn't the only young gun on campus making noise. Fellow backcourt mates Pat Ingram and Anthony Clemens also contributed in their first year with the black and gold, while 7-foot freshman Adam Woodbury helped anchor a national top 10 team in rebounding. It will most likely be more of the same next year, with incoming Peter Jacques expected to contribute right away for McCaffrey's bunch. And while Jacques will almost definitely be in the hunt for next year's award, with a number of options to choose from, we took it to the streets to find out if Iowa City agrees with our Freshman of the Year pack. Kate Constable is outside and ready to go.
It's probably Mike Gasell. He was clutch threes, just had a presence on the floor that, I don't know, brought the team up, looked like.
I would have to say Clemens because he's just a straight-up stud.
Mike Gasell is probably my favorite freshman because he's an aggressive player and he hustles.
I like Woodbury because he's a tall and very dominant player.
I like Gasell because his ball handling skills are unreal.
My favorite freshman Hawkeye basketball player is Mike Gasell because I love my fellow Redheads.
Unfortunately, one of the members that highly touted recruiting class will be leaving the program. Head coach Fran McCaffrey announced Tuesday morning that reserve guard Patrick Ingram has been granted a release from his scholarship to transfer to another school. In a statement released Tuesday, the Hawks head man told members of the media, quote, "Patrick is a tremendous person who will be an integral part of our program last season. Patrick indicated that he wants to be closer to home, and we have granted his request. We wish him all the best in his future endeavors," end quote. The Indianapolis native averaged just 6 minutes a contest in 19 games off the bench this past season. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have in sports. On Wednesday's edition of the program, we unveil our 2012-2013 Coach of the Year, and be sure to tune back in on Thursday for our Story of the Year as we go live in our final show of the semester. Nicole and Christina, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Chelsea. And now let's take a look at what you'll see in Wednesday's edition of the Daily Iowan. Read about what happened at a Tuesday meeting regarding proposals for the embattled Johnson County Justice Center.
And get the details about the Greek community's effort to halt a zoning ordinance proposed by the City Council.
That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out tomorrow at the same time or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for tuning in and have a great night.